Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'll be talking about how I was able to have my German B2 language in less than a year. That I mean A1, A2, B1, B2. Yeah, I was able to have that in less than a year. So yeah, I'm just going to give a general tip. I'm not going to be specific on maybe a particular module or stuff like that because we have four different modules that you really need to actually validate, of course, before you can say, oh, I'm done with this level and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just giving a general rule that helped me as an individual for me to overcome the challenges in learning a new language, the difficulties and stuff like that, because realistically it's not easy to learn a new language. We all know, especially German. I must admit that German language is not that easy, but it's also not so difficult if you're kind of like determined, and of course all you need is hard work, determination, and also that zeal to learn that language. Yeah, and for me, I think I tried to put all of this into order, and I was able to have my B2 German language in less than a year. Yeah, and here are some of the tips that I can give you guys as a beginner. The first thing is, as I said earlier, the determination and hard work. And I'll say something I can remember when I was just saying A1. First thing is regular practice. Regular practice is the key. Always practicing regularly. For example, the languages are like, we have different lectioning and stuff like that. So if you do something today, make sure that when you get back home, try to practice that on your own. Try practicing that on your own. It helps you a lot. And the system in which we're learning in my country was also very encouraging, or could make it also very easy for those who were serious, because when we learn in school, we normally have Arbeitsbook or course book. So normally we work with a course book in school, and then the Arbeitsbook is where we have outcome that we need to do and stuff like that. So when we get home, just working on those exercises and all of that is also going to make you to improve and also retain what you learned in school. It's a language. If you don't practice it, trust me, it's going to escape. So it's all about regular practice, which is one thing I took it up very serious when I was learning the language. And yeah, I can really testify that I can attest that it really helps me so much to improve my German or to master my German and stuff like that. And the next thing for me was the verbs. This is going to help you to ameliorate your German in general, because the more vocabulary you have, the more you can express yourself in German, be it written or spoken German. So what I did when I was in school is that when we have a lesson, of course, when I see verbs that I don't know, it could be verbs, it could be nouns, it could be whatever, generally any word I don't know the meaning, I make sure I know the meaning before I'm done with that lesson. Because if you know the meaning and it gets into your head, then you're already getting vocabularies. That is the key. So I always make sure I translate this word, and it doesn't end at the level of translating, especially if it's a verb. So if this word is a verb, then I tried for that to know when I was in A1. Of course, for beginners, I think just the first three tenses are important. I think in A1 we just do the first three tenses, which is present, like our own present tense, simple present tense. We have preteritum, simple past tense, and then we have das Partizip, which is talking about the past participle. So when I see a word, if it's a verb, the first thing I always did was to first of all translate the word into English so that I can know the meaning of that verb, and try to know this top three conjugation as a beginner. So that's something I was very good at doing, and I must attest that it helped me to improve my vocabulary in German in general. And in this process, it doesn't only help you to improve your vocabulary, but also to know their basic conjugations, which means you can use this verb to say something that is happening right now, or to say something that already happened, or to say something that just happened. So that's how important it is to. And of course, if this word is a verb, then what you should, and of course, if this word is a noun, then the most important thing you should also know is not just the conjugate, it's not just the English translation, but also the article. So when you see a noun, if it's a noun, and you have to know the meaning followed by the article, which is also very important, because there are some few rules too to identify articles of words, which I'm going to also make a video on that in the future. But at the end of the day, most of them you just have to learn it randomly, and always try to make sure that when you know the article of your word, for example, I have this is a bottle, and if I know the article of this bottle, it should stick into my head. I should be able to keep it into my head. Okay, this is flashing, and then how to use what's the article of flashing? It is flashing. So when you see this now, you shouldn't only focus on the fact that, oh, no, this is a bottle, it's called flashing. No, you should also check the article, because German is not like English that you just use the and then you go. Yeah. So these steps help me a lot. Regular practices, translating words you don't know, practicing them, memorizing the articles, and not just translating this word, but also knowing how to construct sentences with them and stuff like that. And most importantly, when it comes to the speaking part, the highest thing that helped me was that I practiced regularly. I spoke German regularly. Even if I was making mistakes, I didn't care, because I know that regular speaking helps a lot to improve your language, especially for a language one of the most important things is speaking. If you can express yourself, then it's also then you've gone halfway already. So I made sure I spoke German every single day. So we had our Scratch partner. I had a guy who was my Scratch partner, and then we decided oh, we will speak in German, and then we tried to be speaking German at least every day, and it helped me a lot. So the next thing is trying to speak German every day, at least every day. It's gonna really help. And I also watch YouTube videos. For example, if you do lessons that you don't understand and stuff like that, when you get back home, it's always advisable. You must not always ask your teacher. Sometimes the teachers explain and we don't also understand what they're saying. So at that point, you need to go to YouTube channel. You type what you want to know. If it's maybe about German verbs, if it's about conjugations or a particular tense or whatever, you type, a bunch of videos are going to appear, and then you choose what you think you like, or you choose what you think is compatible to what you're looking for, and then of course, or you choose what you think correspond what you're looking for, and then you watch the videos. Some videos are even more educative and more easy. Some YouTube videos are more easy to understand than even the lessons in class. That was my own personal experience, which might not be general for everyone, but I always recommend watching YouTube videos. It's really, really important. And of course, listening to podcasts, listening to you guys. People normally practice fluent in class, but listening to podcasts in German too is also a means to help you out, which I did so much. Listen to podcasts, especially in my higher levels, because for a beginner, you're listening to podcasts, it's not really going to help you so much because you see like the vocabulary and stuff like that. But I still recommend, because I started listening to podcasts I think when I was in the A2. Yeah, so those are the tips, guys. And then of course, reading too. The highest way you can always gain your vocabulary is just all about reading. Maybe reading text in German, books in German or whatever, because from there you're going to gain more words. You're going to gain more vocabularies that you can translate and know, okay, this is the meaning of this word or today. So just try like in a day. Let me try and gain 2 words. Let me just try and know 2 or 3 verbs in German and how to use them. So you see, you're going to just improve automatically, and at the end of the day, you won't have problem with voice chat. You will have vocabulary and you'll be able to express yourself. So these are the few tips that I can say, oh, it helps me along. Like I'm actually saying from my own perspective and from my own experience that I had. And I recommend it, seriously, guys. I recommend you guys to try it out. So guys, that's it for today. So please like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification. Turn on the notification in case I post a video. You guys can be notified and stuff like that. I'm a new YouTuber. I just got here, and I really want us to have fun while learning something too. Thank you all, guys.